Hi, we are back on the Silverfox Hustle podcast. This is episode number 89. And if you love the podcast, share it with your family and friends. Share the love. We are out on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, and the works. Well, today in the house is a familiar face, a familiar voice as well in the local football fraternity. And obviously, he's not here in Singapore, working in Singapore. He's the head of Coach Education in the Lao Football Federation. He's a Singaporean who has brought his experience and expertise to help the next generation of football coaches in Lao. He was also part of the Coach's Dugout podcast with myself and with Coach Isa not so long ago, and he's in the house today. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Herman.
All right, thank you, Sasi. Thank you for having me. It's nice to be back in familiar setting. The last time I was here, I was on the other side of the console, but now I'm in the hot seat, right? So, okay, let's fire away.
The fact that you are in the hot seat, Herman, speaks volumes about what you have done over the past couple of years, and kudos to you, congratulations to you, my friend. And let's talk a little bit about Lao before we start talking and go in depth into your coaching life and your coach developer life, right? How has the holidays been? This is like what is this? It's a 2 weeks holiday
It's
break?
a 2 weeks holiday break because my wife is away, so I got to do my daddy duty. All right, so I take this opportunity to come back and reconnect with friends and family, and I think it's really important. Being away from family and friends, so to come back, I think it's always refreshing, and I think it's a way for me to rejuvenate myself as well. So to hit the last part of the year.
Let's talk about something, Herman. How much of weight did you lose?
We cannot mention about weight, but but I think it's substantial amount. I think it's for the better now. I think almost 25 kg.
Wow.
Just by staying in Laos.
Brilliant, man. No, listen. I think you look good. You look healthy. You look great, and I think we won't go on about the weight thing. But I tell you, listeners and people at home, just to share a little bit of his secret: cut down on the sugar and the Coke. Yeah, the Coke. I think that's important. Now, okay. So how does this work? So you go out there, and how long will you be there, and then you come back? So the breaks are how frequent?
So normally I try to be there for about 2-3 months, and then I come back, and like I said again, to come back with the family and whatnot. So that's the plan, because there's a lot of work to be done as well. So to come back regularly also is not feasible. So what I try to do is to at least to come back every 2-3 months, or whenever there's important events and things like that. I try to be available.
Besides the familyhood, what do you miss most?
Wow, I think friends, the food, I think it's very, you take things for granted, how easy things that you can find in Singapore. But like I said again, but more importantly, I think the love of the family and of course friends. So that's the main thing that I miss.
Nice. Now, Herman, did you ever imagine, right? Let's say, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when you probably first started out coaching, right? That one day you would be in a foreign land and be responsible for the coaches under you and for the next generation of coaches in Laos, as well as in Asia, perhaps, right? So have you did you ever think about it and go back and think,
To be fair, I think I never imagined that it would be like this. Perhaps whenever you become a coach, right, there's deep down that you want to try out to work in a foreign land, or to take a team in a top league kind of thing. But I've never imagined that one day I would come to Laos, specifically, to do this coach education thingy. But I think it's been amazing journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So if you ask me to go back, then I think this is something that I think that I would love to do.
Beautiful. Now, were you always a football person? Like growing up, you talk about playing in primary school or secondary school or whatever. Were you always a football person?
I think growing up, just like any other boys, growing up in the 80s, 90s, we are ball block. player, you know. Void deck, basketball court, futsal court, all we play, you know, all day long until your mum shout your name from the top floor. You know that your mum is angry whenever, you know, she call your full name. So that is the time to go back. But yeah, right from young I was very interested in football. But I've never made it to top level football.
Okay. When you say top level means what?
I never played in the S League or national team kind of thing. Perhaps I wasn't good enough. And yeah, but if you ask me the interest, wow, it was always there. I was always interested in football, watching football, you know. So that's what made me happy.
If I can remember right, you're a Liverpool fan.
Big Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Who were your heroes? Your Liverpool heroes?
Growing up, it got to be Robbie Fowler.
Okay.
So I think it's the way that the goals that he scored, and I think that's totally amazing. So I think.
You remember when we first when I first met you and whatnot, right? I think I called you John Barnes, right? Because of
yeah,
you know
the physical part of it.
You know, this is the part where I think it relates to the coaching, and I don't know, right? The transition part, right? When you were playing, maybe in primary school or secondary school or whatever, right? Did you have an eye for tactics, maybe, and maybe the leadership part? You know, maybe you were not the best of players, you know, and we've seen a lot of that. You know, not the best of players didn't make it to the EPL or whatever, but they've got this thing for tactics, maybe the thirst for knowledge, and maybe the leadership part, the communicating part. Did you think that you had that? Just looking back?
Not looking back, maybe yes, because you know I was the one who will, you know, gather friends. Okay, 3 p.m. we play at this court, you know, and then whenever we go, then I will try to organize the teams and whatnot. Maybe some people say the year or type of guy lah. Okay. So, but I don't know. Maybe looking back, that's part of the grounding that I have that making me interested in football coaching as well.
Yeah. Did tactics come to you easily? I'm talking about when you were playing. Like maybe a coach says, okay, you are in a back four, and you know, you talking about traveling with the defense and moving and shifting and whatever. Did it come easily in terms of, you know, grasping
the understanding?
The understanding.
Yeah. So even from a young age, I was more interested in this. When I watch football games, I was always very interested to see the tactical aspect of it. So I think that bug I got very, very early. But I never would imagine that one day I would work as a football coach.
So let's talk about the coaching part then, right? How did the journey start? Like, what made you then think, okay, and at what stage and what age?
Like I said again, I didn't play at a very high level, but the interest of football was always there.
Yeah.
So after school, I signed up to be a policeman. Because I didn't go to NS, right? So I signed up to be a policeman. It's interesting because one day I was doing at the counter, the NPP counter. There's a complainant. He was complaining about something. So I was lodging the police report. Then
so you were regular by that time.
Regular. Then out of the blue, he said, "Hey, why don't you take a coaching course?" I said, this guy random, man.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe he's a godsend or what lah. I don't know. But random. Coaching course. I said, no lah, because I never play high level, cannot. No, you just
who is this guy?
I don't know. No, you ask me, I still forget who he is, but now you ask. That was how it started. So then I said, okay lah. I started to Google about I find out more about this. Then say FAS there's coaching course. So I started very early.
What age?
So 21 I already did my C diploma, right? So perhaps I think it's coincidence or whatnot. So okay, I didn't become top player.
Yeah.
But that time of people play top football, it was the time I used to do my football license and gain my experience. So I think it works out well. I think.
Which year was this?
It was 2021. So I was age 21. I took my
not 2021.
No, 2001.
Yeah,
2001.
Okay.
Yeah, 2001. I took my what do you call that? Prelims. Last time, right?
Yes.
2023, I took my
2003.
2003, yeah, 2003. Oh, my maths koyak je. 2003, I took my I think 2021 I took my C license. Then 2026 I took with you B diploma.
Yes. Interesting. So when you were taking your licenses, right? And you talk, obviously we had the instructors, right? They call it the instructors then instead of the coach developers then, right? Who were your instructors from C to A? Do you remember?
Okay. Prelim, it was Bashe.
Right.
So, well, I was quite inspired from that. And then I do C. C, it was, wow, I think, no, B is Kade, yeah?
Yep.
Kade. I think C is, wow, it's a good question. No, C is Surya and
Oh, okay.
Mike Wong, I think.
Right. And your A?
My A was Mike Wong.
Yeah.
I did in Singapore,
Yeah.
but I actually failed that A in Singapore.
Right.
Then I went to Philippines.
Right.
And I did my A in Philippines.
Nice. So we talk about all your journey from C to A and all the certifications you took. What were the challenges? Or was it easy? Just looking back, and was it a breeze or?
No, I don't think it's a breeze. Like I said again, there's still this stigma that okay, if you don't play the game, it will make it a bit harder to you. And I think it's a fair comment.
Yeah.
Because if you are ex-player, you have advantage in terms of your playing ability. You have already access to coaching style and
Yeah.
top coaching and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have to start from literally ground zero, right? So I think that
But it's not so bad because you did play for school.
I did for
it's
school
not
and
so
yeah,
bad.
but it's still
Right.
nowhere near if national players and
Okay.
whatnot, right? So, but I never want to take it as a disadvantage. So, got to keep on working hard, grinding, to get the results and whatnot. Right? So that's why if you see my coaching journey, the gap is quite big in between licenses.
Okay. In
So
between.
I it's not like CBA within 5 years. No,
Yeah.
right? From C to B is I think almost 4 years,
Yeah.
5 years,
Yeah.
and then B to A is another 6 years,
Yeah.
and then A to Pro is 10 years. Right? So I think this is a journey, and in between you go out and do your coaching, you learn from somebody. So I think then that's where you get the wholesome education part of it.
Listen, I like what you say. There's 2 points that I picked out from here, and obviously because I'm a coach developer, I'm a coach as well, and I played the game as well. So so there are a few things that's so important that I picked out from there. Number one, the debate, the ongoing debate, right? It's always going to be there. If you're a player, you make a good coach and whatever, right? I think you're right because not only because you are you have been a good player, you can be a coach, but it's important that the football knowledge is already there.
Yes.
And the finer details.
Correct.
Tactically, then I
Correct.
think you have an advantage.
Correct.
But looking at the flip side, not all footballers are great communicators.
Yes,
Are
correct.
great educators.
Yes, correct.
That's the part where they need to,
To make the jump.
Exactly, because that's not easy.
Correct.
If you think, and people watching, I've seen so many, we've seen so many footballers going for courses, and I say, okay, we've got a problem in terms of that communicating or trying to put across something. So that's a very good point. The next point we talk about is that's C to B
Don't rush it.
to A. You made a very good point, and I think in a way, it depends on how what you do and your experiences, right? It shouldn't be C after 1 year you do your B, after 1 year you do your A.
You're collecting certificate.
Collecting certificates is one, and I think you're getting a free pass at whatever. It shouldn't be the way.
Correct.
Right? Because there should be a C, and then you go under maybe a tutelage or a
Yes,
mentor,
yes,
and then
yes.
you make the jump, because it's not easy, right?
Correct.
Now the next question is, how important is having a mentor after, for example, you do your C? So you get that license. So what then? Because a lot of coaches are lost in between. So what happens then?
Okay, so I think this is just to go back slightly, right?
Yeah.
Firstly, I don't think there should be a right or wrong whether you're ex-player or you're not, right? So that and I think a lot of non-player also become very defensive.
Oh, yes.
Oh no lah, just because you you ex-player doesn't mean no. But I think you should also embrace that. You never play. You say you never play,
Right.
Right? Why you want to be embarrassed
Yes.
about it, right? So, but now what is next is that you gain your knowledge from many different sources,
Right.
and one of the sources whereby you want to gain knowledge is from mentorship, by observation, and I think similar to playing, whereby it's skill acquisition, to get that ability to play at the top level.
Right.
To be a coach is also a form of skill acquisition, right? So it's important when you talk about skill acquisition, time must be invested. And this is where I said that to be a good coach, you need to invest time. So after you do C, then you do go and coaching at an appropriate level. So even though there's no mentor, but the fact that you're out there coaching every day, the environment become your mentor. But of course, it's good if you have somebody who's willing to guide you, willing to share knowledge with you. So then after that, you take your B. Then you go to the next level. So it's kind of scaffolding your learning and your experience. And I think this is very, very important. And like I said again, your ability to reflect is it's so important that if you are unable to reflect, then I think you can come under Pep Guardiola or Mourinho, but you just see, but nothing actually come into your brain. But like I said again, don't rush. Because if you rush, you get found out as well. Right? Suddenly you got A diploma, but you cannot even do a proper annual periodization.
Yes.
Then how does it reflect on you, right? So and I think I'm always thankful to the coaches that I've worked alongside. I've worked alongside Saswa, Akbar. So and being an assistant coach, you get the front seat of learning, right? You see what they do daily, day in, day out, and the things that they do good. Oh, this is where I can do. The thing that they make mistake, oh, you can also pick up from this. So I think this is, like I said, an important journey that as a coach you cannot overlook it. So I think when you talk about mentor, not necessarily mentor just to talk, but mentor in terms of who you are working with. I think that's just as important.
I think it's very a good point that you brought up about the environment as well. That could be your mentor as well, right? Or what's happening, and but I think it's very important that you have to see and evaluate things on your own as well. And going back to mentors, who were your mentors? And when I say mentors, guys, people and coaches watching at home, it's not like a mentor means someone you have to go through and it's like a done deal that okay, you are my mentor, you're gonna
correct.
It's like
shake hands and say, hey, can you be my mentor?
It's like
informal learning.
Informal learning where you think, wow, this guy is good, I'm gonna take something from him, and then I take something from him. Just going back to your coaching journey, right? Who were your mentors?
I got to say that a lot of people came into my footballing life, and I think who you mix around is just as important.
Of course.
Because they are the people who will shape your ideas of football. Then we can bounce off ideas and whatnot. But I've got to say, Slobodan Pavkovic really have a huge impact on me.
He was, by the way, the
TD
former TD, right?
FES.
Right.
So I think he inspired a generation of coaches.
What was good about him?
I think the fact that he took a more hands-on approach to coach learning. So he conducted the coaches morning, weekly. You can say whatever is that the book that he developed and things like that. But like I said again, all coaches have different ideas. It's about how you put it together. So and I had the opportunity actually to work as his assistant for a year. So I think that's really shaped me to be the coach that I am today.
Nice. Now let's talk about the coach or the teams that you coached before, and what were the teams and the level that you coached before?
So in terms of level is I've coached from grassroots all the way to professional teams. I've coached children, women's team, school team. So I've coached the whole works. But in terms of more professional one, I did the COE. So I think that's mandatory. I think if you want to learn your ropes as a coach, I think that plays a huge part in my development. I was in Sengkang Punggol, and then I became the Prime League coach in Sengkang Punggol as well. I was the coach for Woodlands, Wellington back then, COE, and then I was the Prime League coach and assistant S-League coach for Warriors. This is interesting because growing up I was a big fan of SFFC, So and it was like wow, suddenly you get to coach the team that you supported, So that was I think one of the highlights in my career. And then I also coached Tampines Rovers, Prime League, and assistant to S-League, and also the women's team. So I think and most recently I was the head coach of Lao women's national team as well. We went to the SEA Games. So again, I have a variety of experience, but maybe not master of anything.
But no, I think that experience will help you a lot to deal with people, different kinds of people at different levels as well. It's great, and it's networking as well. And from all those, and even the assistant coach for the Tanjong Pagar side, just a couple.
Actually,
just a
I missed that as well.
just
I was the assistant coach
a
for
couple of
Tanjong
years
Pagar
ago as well, right? Was there a favorite moment anywhere down the line that you could think off your head? Maybe a few. I don't know. Maybe one.
Well, if you ask me, I thought to the one that I was the SEA Game coach for the Lao
Ah.
is really a big highlight. You know, to be a national coach, bringing team to a SEA Game, and there was one game, the last game we actually played against Singapore.
Wow.
So I think, that was, I think, a really good highlight to my coaching journey. It takes quite a long year before I finally take a senior team. But like I said again, along the way I learned a lot. But like I said again, this, and of course the highlight of me coaching Warriors FC. So that is a good
Nice.
good learning experience as well.
Any disappointing moments you think just out of your head right now? You think, damn,
As a coach, I think you always be controlled by results.
Okay.
When you lose, you always feel terrible. And I think I have my fair share of losses. But now on hindsight, I wouldn't want to say there's any great disappointment. And I because I think that every single moment, whether I win, doesn't mean that I'm the best coach, and when I lose, I'm the worst coach, right? So I always have this in me that I will always reflecting on myself. How can I improve? And I think it's been there all along. And I think you cannot ever say that if you are working in football, something that you enjoy, there's a disappointing moment. Cannot. You are blessed that you wake up, you talk football, you mix around with footballers, you enjoy the game, you get paid for it. And I think you can never say that there's any moment that will you regret or disappoint you. I think is you're being ungrateful if you say that.
There you go, guys. I think that's gratitude as well. Blessed that you are actually, or you actually love what you're doing.
Yes.
It's
and
the
you never
game.
work for a day of your life, right?
Yeah,
They were
and
saying.
you're just thinking that, every day I'm like, the balls, the grass, and the smell of the grass.
Correct,
it's wonderful. Coach developing, right? And it used to be called a coach instructor, right? So now it's coach developer, they call it, right? Now, how important is the coach or the role of a coach developer, Herman?
I think it's massive. Because you are the multipliers, right? You are responsible to develop coaches who will have a big impact on the players. So I think you need to do this right. So if as a coach developer, you need to have a good understanding of football. You need to be able to communicate your ideas, and you need to groom the coaches so that when they go out on the field, they can really contribute. Because if I fail in my role, then the results going to be can be seen down the road. So I think that's
responsibility wise, it's huge, isn't it? And it's a given. The responsibility is huge, but it's everything else, because take it or leave it, you are a role model in every sense of the word. On the pitch, off the pitch, it's so important. What you do, what you say, what you say, do on social media as well.
Yes.
It's so important, right? When did your journey start in this coach developing role?
I think when I was in FA.
Right.
So I had a stint in FAS. I did the JCOE. So I think one day Coach Gita actually say, okay, we're sending you to Kuala Lumpur to do a FIFA coach developer course. So that was the first time actually I actually did any courses. But the main one was that I attended this Premier Skills. It's a foundation arm of the Premier League, whereby they came to Singapore for the tour, and then part of the legacy is that they educate or empower local coaches, right? So I thought that attending that course changes everything. So from wanting to be a coach, now my eyes is that maybe my calling would be to be a coach developer. So I think that was a turning point in a way in my life as well.
Nice. You've had experiences of delivering courses almost everywhere, right? Which is the furthest you've been in terms of delivering a course?
I've been to Bhutan. I've been to Taiwan. I've been all around. So as part of my role as FIFA technical.
Isn't Vincent in Bhutan right now? Is he?
No, he's no. I think he's back in Singapore or
Right.
in I think in Singapore.
Isn't Bhutan the happiest country in the world?
It's amazing place as well to go.
Were you always smiling there?
No, but I think it's good people,
Yeah, yeah.
a beautiful
Right.
country to be with. I
Yeah.
think you can see that why they are not so stressful.
Right, which comes to the point, right? You've been to all these places. What are the differences you see when you are delivering courses? Like maybe in Singapore, you've done it in Taiwan, in Bhutan, and here and there in Laos as well right now. What are the differences you feel in delivering a course?
I think at the end of the day, it's still football, right?
Yeah.
But the differences is actually the culture. I
Okay.
think this is something that a lot of people overlook. Culture. Okay, even if I become a head coach, culture is very important because we are all in Asia, but Singapore and Malaysia is also different, right? So you must understand the culture, you must understand the environment. So I think that's a key role whenever you conduct any courses. Understand what type of culture it is, what type of environment. So you need to do your groundwork, do your recce, talk
Right.
to the coach,
Right.
the TD and whatnot, so you understand better.
What does it affect? Like as in the culture, what does it affect? Give me a specific example.
Okay, so for example, if I do in Taiwan, for example, the language, or in Laos, language itself is already a barrier.
Right.
For me to be to good coach developer, I need to communicate effectively.
Right.
And if you cannot even speak the language, that is already a barrier.
Okay.
Right? So you must make effort now to think of ways how you can deliver your thoughts, your ideas better. And because nowadays you want to conduct courses two ways, right? So
Yeah.
because they cannot speak English, sometimes people tend to not to open up. Not that they are not knowledgeable, it's but because
Okay.
they maybe they feel, okay, I cannot speak
Yeah,
English,
you're
so
right.
that's why better don't talk. So again, that is the main thing as the role of the most challenging part of a coach developer. How to extract that from your participants, from your coaches.
So give me an example of how do you extract that in terms of language right now. For example, you go to Bhutan and we talk about the language barrier, right? So how, for example, you get them to speak to you? Maybe you're asking them a question about, I don't know, a formation or whatever, right? So how do they?
So first, I think you need to reverse back everything. You need to create the environment first.
Okay.
So when I went to Taiwan, or even in Laos now, the first thing is music. Make people
Okay.
Relax.
Right.
So I play the local music first. Right?
Okay.
So when they come into the
And the
class,
intro. Yeah.
they come into the class. The classroom is already set up. This guy, he play local music. He speak. Then of course the first thing that come up must be their local language.
Okay.
The sabadi,
Right.
or your ni hao ma kind of
The
thing.
hellos
the
and
hellos and you make an effort already
Okay.
to make a fool of myself.
Right.
To go. So then they already know, this guy can, why can we? Right?
Yeah.
So that must be set first.
Mm.
Right? So I think you need to look at the bigger picture. But if you just jump in and you ask me this type of question, how do I extract?
Yep.
Of course, it cannot be done.
Right.
But if you now reverse and how you create that environment, how you make them feel that, this is actually okay. So in Laos, for example, our coaching courses now, coaches actually come with laptops.
Right.
Previously, they wouldn't even want to bring this, right?
Okay.
But you encourage them, even if they make mistakes and whatnot, you teach them. So this is where you gain their trust, and then they say, it's fine, no? to do. So I think this is where I think the environment again, the you need to keep it positive first.
Beautiful.
Then you can extract.
Now, how do you, if you're a CD, right, a coach developer, and you've been, I don't know, doing this for 2 or 3 years, is there an avenue to upgrade yourself? Because you might think that, okay, I'm doing an A course, for example, and you keep on, you are doing this almost every year, the same, not the same way. Contents may change here and there, but can you upgrade yourself in the way you do things?
So I think now with technology, it's very easy for you to gain a lot of knowledge from FIFA website and whatnot, right? But I think this is a very important question because I myself actually did my masters. So in performance football coaching, right? So from there, it kind of opened up my eyes about football. It's actually a whole new dimension that I realized that after 15, 16 years of working in football, I didn't realize this. So things like culture, things like power, it's
Politics.
the politics. You cannot just take it away. It is part of it.
It's
you
there.
must embrace it, and then you must not say play it, but you must able to anticipate things, right? So, and like I said again, the culture thing is a big thing. So as a coach developer, first, knowledge, you must always you must keep yourself updated, looking at the technical reports and whatnot. But more important, I think, for you to gain a deeper knowledge, so take on a more formal education, taking masters or doing your diploma in sports science, thing like it helps. So I think it can be done.
Brilliant. Now, in general, right, I'm talking about in Singapore specifically, right? What are the strong points of our coaches when you are delivering courses and stuff in Singapore, right? What are our strong points and also the negatives, in your opinion, from your experiences?
I think in Singapore, I think most of the coaches, you are, technology savvy and whatnot. So it's very easy, want to conduct courses, and then they speak English. You can grasp ideas easily. So I think that is the plus point of Singapore coaches. So we are exposed to so many different kinds of football. So I think that part is easy. I'm not sure whether sometimes the local coaches, are we hungry enough to go that extra mile? Because in Singapore, I think to get coaching job is very easy. You can
Is it?
you can you can become a coach on the weekend. So many academies, and you can actually earn good money. Right. So this to me sometimes make you forget your journey. That you are here actually to improve football, but sometimes now we go for the money instead, which is not wrong. Please don't get me wrong. It's not wrong, but you start to do multiple session for the sake of it, and you start to jump from one session, then no planning. I just come, and this is what I see.
Quality, isn't it?
And I think it's not only affecting the players, but it's affecting you as a coach as well, because now you come in without planning, so you are doing it just for the money. So it's become work from something that you enjoy. Now that's why I say the journey, because of the money. So which is not wrong, but if that's what you want to do, it's fine. But I think if we want to talk about to improve, I think you need to stay true to the cause.
Quality dips, isn't it? When you do that, when you start doing that. Herman, let's talk about Lau, man. How did you get this role?
I don't know. Maybe it's because
I know. It's that guy at the police post.
So we got to rewind back. No, maybe it's because I think even from I've good relationship with Sundram. Even when I was in Singapore, he was in Singapore. I think when the role became available, he asked me whether I'm interested to take and whatnot. So I think that kicks it off lah. So it start off from there, and then I was thinking to take or not. So
how long was this ago?
Actually we had this conversation maybe 3-4 years before. Then after that, COVID hits. I think lucky we didn't go and whatnot. So then after that, I thought it's finished. Then after that, after COVID and things open up, then Sundram asked me again last 2 years. Asked whether you want to come back.
How difficult was the decision? Let's put the family aside. Let's put the family aside. Apart from the family part, how difficult is it on the professional side of things?
Okay, if you take out family out of the equation, it's very easy. Because it's,
just go.
I think it's a sexy project. It is something that
reminds me of Ruud Gullit.
So you know which generation you are. So I think it is if you take family out, it is easy decision. But the moment you put in family, that is a very difficult decision.
I'll coin this, man. This is a sexy project in Laos. I'll speak to Sundram about this as well. Now, so when you got the job, right? What is your job scope, your role, your primary role, and what was there a goal or a target set for you? I don't like to use the KPI word. It's So what?
So it was quite obvious. It's to do the coach education part, to do the CCE program, to run the C diploma, B diploma, A diploma. But the main target there was to actually improve the level of coaching, and they were applying for the coaching convention, the AFC coaching convention, which we managed to get the A coaching convention December last year.
Nice.
So in a way, we
Explain to us, what is that? What does that mean?
So in AFC now, there's this coaching convention is like your ISO lah. Right?
Okay.
So
quality
to show
control.
the quality control that you have done it according to what AFC have stated how it should be done, and things like that. And when they come and visit, they think, oh, this is a quality project and whatnot. So that's why you can use the AFC. So if you take the course in Singapore or you take the course in Laos, the diploma will be recognized in Japan or in Korea, kind of thing. So it means a lot. It means that you are on par with the powerhouse of Asia football. So I think that's a big thing. And for Laos to get that A coaching convention is I think it's something really a proud moment for myself as well.
Brilliant. Congratulations, man. It's brilliant. Was it a daunting task at first when you got the job, and then maybe your first day at work, and you're sitting in the office and you're thinking, what have I got into? Because it's huge, isn't it?
Yes,
it's huge.
And you don't have any reference. So you literally sit in the office and wow. So now where do I start, right? I've no idea whether the people will even accept me. So now what syllabus should we put? But like I said, it's because it's almost a blank canvas. That's what make the project very sexy. So Sundram have a lot of trust in me, and he was really supportive. He said that, okay, do what so everything that I've imagined that I want to do, I put through it, and it was an amazing a diploma course. So I really looking back, I thought, wow, this is really amazing.
Well, going back to that, how is working with Sundram like? And obviously, people who don't know, not in our time or whatever, he's a legend, right? So how and he's the technical director.
He's the technical director.
How is working with Sundram, by the way?
No, this is someone that when I was young, I was watching him playing, in the Malaysia Cup. He doing the bicycle kick and whatnot. And then now I'm a colleague. We go lunch together and whatnot. So I think it's amazing. And as a person, is a fantastic person, pleasant personality, very caring, and like I said, as a boss, he's really very supportive. His open-mindedness really, surprised me. So I and not because he's my boss, I say this, but it's really you got to give it to him how he evolved from a coach and then to become a TD. So I think that's amazing.
And I think it helps and works. You spoke about the blank canvas part, and also I think he gives you the everything that is needed to do a job.
Correct.
Because sometimes you think about it, why employ me when you're always telling me what to do, right?
Correct, yeah. Precisely, right?
So you employ people to do the job. Don't come in and then start messing things up. And I think that's a brilliant relationship. It's a two-way thing, and it's a wonderful relationship.
And I got to say that even the federation itself, the GS, the president, they are amazing people. They support you whatever you want to do. And Laos have actually amazing facilities. So this is something that we people don't have to do. People don't know. Then people are thinking, hey, are you working in kampong or what? No, we've got. You come to our federation, you'll be amazed at what we have. So it's no excuse for me not to deliver it. To be honest, so it kind of inspire me to do things really well.
Brilliant. And you spoke about the country as well, and it helps you lose weight as well.
that's important.
It's a plus point.
Because actually when I watch social media, I see you doing your workout.
Right. Listen, we spoke about the convention, the A convention, right? Talk us through just a few highlights of from 2 years ago till now, what you have achieved so far, at least for now.
For in terms of the coach education, we keep it to coach education.
Right.
I think one of the other things that we've done is that we have actually done the coach developer course.
Okay.
So what I've done is that I've multiplied myself. So that is to me one of the proudest course that I've done in Laos. It's because it's pointless that I keep everything to me and then I do all the courses. Then it become my show, right? What I've seen that what we need to do is that we need to empower the locals. And when you empower the locals, you'll be surprised that they actually they have this growth mindset. They have this ambition as well.
Yeah.
So and now we have about 15 coach developers, and they are going to be a better coach developer than me, because why? They speak the language. They understand the people. They understand the
Right.
culture. So now I don't do the C diploma anymore. They will run it.
Beautiful.
Right? So now I'm doing B, and then some of them are following me to the B.
Yeah.
Then hopefully by next year I don't have to do the B.
Right.
They run the course.
Right.
So this is what I think is very important for them. That's why I say that this course is most important course that I've done in Laos. Not the A, but the coach developer course. So that
Right.
is one. Then number 2, we actually done the elite youth B diploma.
Okay.
We actually, I'm not sure, but we might be among the first country in ASEAN to actually do an elite youth diploma run by your own federations.
So what is this elite
So
youth?
because see, our coaching courses is CBA.
Okay.
Then you simply assume that you understand in depth of how to develop youth.
Okay.
Right? Similar to goalkeeping. We got the goalkeeping
Yeah.
specialist course. We got a fitness specialist
Okay.
course. So why can't we have an elite youth?
Oh, specifically to elite for elite.
Yeah. So
Understand.
you everything that you do is to more focus on the youth, how to do
Wow.
prioritization, how to do talent identification, how to do talent development. We talk about player maturity, we talk about the relative age index and things like that. So the coaches have more exposure to it, and so that when they go to their clubs and they do the youth, they know how to plan, they know how to communicate to the players. So
Has this been done before? As in, I
so
don't think in Singapore.
yeah,
No.
so normally it's done by FIFA.
Right.
And going forward, AFC is going to introduce this as part of the coaching course as well.
Wow.
But Lao actually
Brilliant, man.
we did it in advance, and actually we also work with Coach Sharp. I think you spoke to
Yeah.
Tariq before. So what happened was that we used the Coach Sharp platform,
Yeah.
and we do the talent identification. So
Yeah.
part of the course, the coaches, after they saw players, so they would upload the players' name, data, the players'
Wonderful.
strength and whatnot into a system. So again, now we are actually embracing technology,
Yeah.
and we are using this. So we are exposing our coaches to all of this.
Brilliant, man, Herman. And you spoke about the coach developer course for the locals there. You know, you're right about why keep everything, right? Because it's about sharing, it's about learning and stuff. And I tell you what, I don't know, 5 years or whatever down the road when you leave Laos, right? Right, you're gonna be like a legend there, man. No, seriously, you're gonna be a legend. You know, in Malaysia they call them Dato', right?
Dato'.
I don't know what they're gonna call you, man, in Laos. It's brilliant. Congratulations, man. What else is in store for you in terms of Laos? Is there a contract extension? What is it like gonna be?
Actually, I signed my contract just for 1 year.
Okay.
Initially, because I'm not sure how it's going to
But
be.
it's been 2 years.
Yeah, but after that, we actually
Okay.
renewed my contract for a couple more years.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to stay there for at least a couple more years. So that is one. But next year, we are aiming really high. We are aiming to get we plan to do the pro diploma, and we aim to get the coaching convention for the pro diploma.
Wow.
And what we have planned is that we think this is going to be the best pro diploma, not only in ASEAN. I think it's going to be in Asia. So
Wow.
this is my promise to them.
Yeah.
We will make it happen that this is going to be the best pro diploma.
Good luck, man, Herman. You know, we're with you. At least I'm with you. You know. Now, before we go, right, where does Herman go from here? Okay, forget about 1 year, 2 years. Forget about the pro diploma now. Maybe 5, 10 years down the road. Where do you think you'll be at?
If immediately, I will go Tekka Market now. I go meet my friend and I go to eat more food. Alright. but that's aside. I'm not sure. I think I always want to affect the game at a global level. I hope that I can affect change in terms of coaching, at least in Asia. Maybe the next target is to work in AFC.
Yeah.
Who knows if I can go to FIFA.
Yeah.
So I'm selling myself now. But
Please,
that's the
please
target.
do.
That's the target. I want to aim high. So I think that's the target. But sometimes you can only plan. And if things work out, it work out. But if not, at least I've given it a shot. And that's what I want to do.
Are you planning to come back?
Singapore has always been home, right?
Is it as sexy as Laos?
Now with the UTR project, I think it is it is interesting project, and I'll be lying to say that I've not keeping in touch with people here. And I think it's ambitious project.
Yeah.
Whether we can pull it off or not, no, I don't know. But I'll be more than open to come back if there's any offers, or if but the project must be, like you say, sexier than what Lao is at the moment. But let's keep it open, and hopefully, whatever direction I take, it will be part of my amazing journey that I had in football so far.
I think whoever's watching this, who's going to listen to this, and you make up your mind, because I know what I would do. If I'm the head of anything, I think we've got someone who's forward thinking. Someone who's always thinking forward and thinking about football, and so giving as well. So the choice is yours, my friends. Any final messages for coaches, in general, maybe in Singapore as well? I think it's key as well, from a coach developer, from an ex-coach as well, and from someone who actually, you said it before, you failed your A once. For someone who's not a bed of roses going forwards, right?
Yes.
There's always failures and stuff like that. So from someone with your experience, any words of encouragement or even advice for these coaches?
I think I'm not in any position to advise anybody, but what my journey have taught me is that actually to appreciate things around you. I think that's the key thing. Enjoy what you are doing, and like I said, football is a result based industry, and if you will be so hard on yourself when you lose, or you feel proud of yourself when you win, or you will affect your mental health. What's important is always be grounded, surround yourself with good people, be honest with yourself, and I think that is the key. Continue to work hard. It's that's the most important thing. Don't look at no, I want to be here because I want to become famous, I want to earn more money. Yes, of course money is important, and of course the recognition is just as important, but it cannot be what drives you. Okay, what drives you must be football. It must be intrinsic, and you always want to improve yourself, you want to better yourself. And the only way to be better is because you have good environment. If you are surrounded with good coaches, the level of football improve. But if you are the only best coach, I tell you, you also cannot improve, right? So that's the key thing. So in order for, I think, our local football to improve, the whole football community, we need to raise up our level of knowledge and experience, and only then I think we can become a better footballing country.
Well said, and that probably is the best way to end the podcast, Mr. Herman. Thank you so much for being here. And we wish you all the best. I think the coaches here in Singapore, we wish you all the best for when you go back to Laos, and for your future endeavors as well. Say hi to Mr. V. Sundramoorthy, the legend himself. We all remember the bicycle kick still till today, and we hope both of you guys have a great journey ahead as well. All right, so thank you very much. This has been the latest episode of the Silverfox Hustle podcast with my guest Herman. Don't forget, like I said before we go, click on the follow, subscribe button. We are everywhere, and share the love with your friends. Till the next episode, cheers.